Hi there, I'm Mary Beth Wiseman, Penn State Master Gardener. Today we're going to be going over some basic houseplant care tips with lighting, watering, and feeding. Watering houseplants is critical because if you water them too much, they're going to die. If you don't water them enough, they will die too. So with a larger houseplant like this, you want to poke your finger down into your second knuckle, and if you feel moisture, it's not time to water yet. But if it's completely dry down in there, it's time to water. For smaller houseplants and hanging baskets, it's a good idea to lift the plant and get a feel for how light it is. Plants are much heavier when they're first watered, but when they need to be watered, they're very lightweight, and you know immediately it's time to water again. Now that it's time to water, I want to share a few tips on feeding your plants while you water. And I like to feed them every time I water with a balanced fertilizer, and that means that the 3 numbers you'll find on the label are the same or close to each other. I just add a few drops into my watering can, and then I add my water. And it's a good idea to use proper water. Never use distilled water when watering your plants. Rainwater or melted snow is excellent for your plants, and tap water is fine too, but just remember to let your water sit for a couple days before you use it to allow it to come to room temperature and to allow any of the chlorine to escape from tap water. When watering your houseplant, always be sure to water them thoroughly just until the water begins to drip out of the bottom of the pot. Different houseplants have different lighting requirements. Blooming houseplants like these African violets here have higher lighting requirements than foliage houseplants. That's why I have them in my east-facing window here. And additionally, I give them extra lighting in the wintertime up here because they bloom all winter long. Some houseplants prefer higher levels of humidity than is typically found in a home environment. To make these kind of plants really happy, grow them in a terrarium like this one. It's really just a little greenhouse that holds the humidity in for the plants. I've got a maidenhair fern and a baby's tears and a jewel orchid growing in this terrarium. I originally planted this creeping fig inside of my terrarium thinking it would be happier inside, but as you can see, this plant has a mind of its own. It decided to come back outside and live outside the terrarium. Taking care of houseplants indoors helps the wintertime go by a lot easier for me. If I can't be gardening outdoors, I'm gardening indoors.
A copy of the program you've just seen can be purchased through Penn State Media Sales at mediasales.psu.edu or by calling 800-770-2111.